Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Self-Love Friday. Welcome here into my living room. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for joining me on Self-Love Friday. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. I love coming on live each Friday and talking about different aspects of self-love and what it means to really self-love. So thank you for joining me and welcome. Do let me know in the chat where you're joining me from. It's always good to know where you are in the world. As you may or may not know, I'm here in England. We've had a really grey day today, but it is lovely. I'm one of those strange people who loves the weather, whatever the weather is. So I even enjoy grey, cloudy days. I love the rain. I love the sun. I love weather. So welcome to Self-Love Friday. And what are we talking about today? Well, spring cleaning time. Spring is about to spring officially here in the Northern Hemisphere. Sunday is the spring equinox. And so that got me thinking about spring cleaning. And when I talk about spring cleaning, today I'm talking about spring cleaning your soul. So first of all, if you stop and think, what does spring cleaning mean to you? Isn't it a wonderful time of year when Mother Nature is just exhibiting the absolute essence of new growth, new life, waking up from winter's sleep and blooming. Everything starts to blossom. Everything starts to turn greener than before. All the shoots on the trees and flowers pushing up through the cold ground. It's just a really, really beautiful time of year. And most people take this chance to traditionally spring clean their home, spring clean the space that they're in to feel better, to feel lighter, to feel cleaner and ready for a new year. And if you think about the term New Year, this actually heralds the same weekend where spring equinox is, heralds the start of the astrological year. So in the old ways, this would be New Year because we move out of Pisces and into Aries, which is actually the first sign of the zodiac. So if you're into zodiac and you're into astrology or you're into the old ways and the old traditions, then this is when the new year starts on spring equinox. So spring cleaning goes along with all of that. A fresh start, starting everything new and clean, getting rid of stuff, decluttering. Maybe there's stuff that you no longer need. And when I think of spring cleaning, I think of spring cleaning your soul. And take it even further. So when I say soul, I really mean every part of you. So it's spring cleaning body, spring cleaning mind, spring cleaning heart, and spring cleaning spirit. So when I say that, what I mean is it's a chance to look at how you're doing things. Are you giving your body the absolute best chance to flourish, to be your best, to be your healthiest, to be your strongest, to be your most vital? And that means this is an opportunity for me this time of the year, is an opportunity to look at my habits, my physical habits. So what am I eating? How am I sleeping? What exercise am I doing? Are my daily habits in the physical realm, the way I sit, where I work, all of the physical things that affect my body, are they working for me? Is there anything that I need to get rid of? Maybe, like for me, recently I gave up again. I've stopped taking in refined sugar. I'm trying to move away from the word give up because it has different subconscious connotations. So I have chosen to stop taking in refined sugar as part of my daily life. And that's been incredible for me. I have seen benefits. It definitely impacts my mood. It impacts the state of the vitality of my body, my energy levels. So I'm feeling a lot better for that. So I feel like I've got a bit of a head start on the spring season, but it will be that kind of thing that I'm talking about. At the beginning of the year, I chose to stop taking in alcohol into my body, to test that out, because I've always enjoyed wine. I love my wine. I enjoy whiskey. I enjoy cocktails. I really have always enjoyed alcohol as being part of my life. And it's just been a nagging thing for me that I wasn't enjoying the effects of it on my body. So looking at my body, looking at wanting pure vitality, wanting to live my best life, wanting to live my healthiest body, I decided to choose to not take that anymore. And I'm seeing benefits from that as well. So again, in the springtime for me, it's about looking at these things. Even my exercise routine, is it all working for me? Could it work better? So it's looking at, is there too much? Is there too little? Do I have balance? How am I feeling? How am I feeling in my physical self? And do I need to spring clean anything from there? So that's what I mean by spring cleaning your body. What you could do as well is what I'm going to be doing next week is a cleanse. So cutting out a whole lot of things from your diet and really cleansing. For me, I'm doing a juice cleanse. I love the work of Tyler Tolman. You can find him on social media. He and his wife are complete vegan, fruitarian people living in Bali, and they specialize in physical health. And they do retreats, and they do, well, I suppose pre-lockdown, they used to always do these amazing retreats, and they do amazing stuff. And they do this juice fast, and I'm going to be doing their juice fast again, which is really incredible. So you prepare your body for it before you actually do go into the intensity of it. And it's just a way to like cleanse, refresh, revive, and get ready for this new season, this next season. And for me, every year represents a new level of life. So it's like looking back over my life and seeing constant progress and continual progress, and that I keep progressing, I keep growing, I keep evolving into the best version of me. That is what I need to see for my life, so that when I do one day, whenever that might be, come to the end of my life, whichever day it is, it could be today, I can say that I've spent my days well, and I've grown, and I've evolved, and I really have always been the best that I could be with what I had in every moment. So that very much applies to my body and how I view it at this time of year. Starting fresh, giving my body a fresh start, and really, really auditing what's going on, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And then it's about applying that same exact principle of spring cleaning to my mind. And how does this work? Well, for me, it's about mindset. And I know that term is used so much these days. It's all mindset, this mindset that, but if we really think about it, mindset is everything. And I know that you probably hear that everywhere. It's because it's true. Mindset is everything. So what I'm going to be doing over the next few days, and I actually have quite a busy full day tomorrow, so I'm going to be doing a lot of what I speak about today. I'm going to be doing easing into an energy level first. Sunday, I actually have a different kind of a day. So a lot of what I do is going to be on Monday, which is the first official day. So it's the day after equinox, and it'll be the first official day of spring. Looking at my mindset, it'll be like checking myself. Recently, I worked together with a very, very close friend of mine, and we hold each other accountable on various things. And we both identified a certain pattern that we've carried, and it's a fundamental belief, which obviously impacts mindset, that comes from our childhood experiences. And so that was perfect timing, because that came up in this week. So just in time for spring. And I'm currently looking at ways that I can actually move out of any mindset that's linked to that belief, because it really doesn't serve me. It comes from an old place. As I said, it comes from childhood. And so now it's about seeing all the places where that affects my thinking. So it's really auditing with a fine-tooth comb my mindset and how it works. And the best way to do that is because so often we can't see our own patterns or a mindset that it's affecting us, is to look at the results you're getting in your life. So look at how your life is, and look at the different areas of your life where mindset would affect you. So that is basically every area. So look at your areas and how does that life look for you in that area. Great tool for this is the Wheel of Life. And I don't know if you know, but there is a free download of one on my website, which is dianagrant.com. I have quite a few nice free downloadable resources, and one of them is the Wheel of Life. So it's in the store, which is called Boutique on my website, because I like pretty words. So the store on my website is called the Boutique, and there's a section for freebies, and they're in there. And so the Wheel of Life is a nice way to just re-audit. Where am I at? How is my life looking now? I'm going into this spring season. And even if you're in the southern hemisphere and it's not spring for you, think about the beginning of the new quarter. What are you going to do differently? What's working for you? What's not working for you? And whatever's not working for you, there will be a mindset, there will be a way of thinking behind that. And that can be quite a challenge because sometimes we don't want to see what it is. So often that's the case because our minds are so clever at keeping us safe, protecting us, and change represents a potential threat. So, if you look at something that you've just always done or thinking the way you've always thought, the mind will say, yeah, keep it that way because that's how we've always done it. But it doesn't mean that it's working for you if your results are not the results that you want to see in your life. So use the wheel of life, reassess where you're at, and think about any mindsets that are driving those different results for you. So that's on spring cleaning the mind. And then a biggie for me at the moment is spring cleaning the heart, or what I call the heart of me, which is my emotions. So again, just as the challenge can come in with mindset, facing emotions that we might have blocked, avoided, put away, parked, said, oh, this is too difficult, I'm not going to feel this now, I'll put it away. What happens when we do that? And it's because of our culture and the society we live in, teaching us to behave from day one. We come into life so free and knowing who we are and knowing what we want and having no problem saying what we want. Think of a child. The child just demands what it wants. When it's hungry, it cries when it's a baby. And then we get domesticated or programmed out of that, and we have to behave and keep quiet. And our needs are put on the back burner. We're taught that what we want and what we need, it comes second to everything else, comes second to other people's comfort. So if I want to say about how I'm feeling and it makes somebody else feel uncomfortable, I don't say it. And what ends up happening is we don't even know if it'll make the person uncomfortable or not, but we just don't say it. So we don't give ourselves the space. And what happens then is we store those feelings in our body. So you could be in a situation where you want to say, I feel uncomfortable with that, or that makes me feel afraid, or that makes me feel really sad, but you don't say it because you've been taught and programmed to think that you've got to keep that to yourself. And what happens then is those emotions actually stay in your body, they're stored in your physical body, and they sit there and they cause blockages in your energy. And then emotion, what happens is you lose touch with your emotions, because if you're denying 50% of the emotions, let's say, that are supposed to be bad or negative, the others are not going to flow as easily either, because your sense system for what you're actually feeling becomes dulled. And so in general, your system gets blocked, your emotional body gets blocked, and that does actually affect your physical health and your mental health as well. So the emotions are a very, very strong link for all the areas of your being, of who you are. Hello, JJ. I see that you're here. Welcome and thank you for being here. COVID has given us a way of finding new habits as we go into the new season. It is good to check if these still work for us. Definitely. Absolutely. JJ, it's so good to just assess and have a look at those things. And as I say, life gets so busy and we don't always take this time out for ourselves, partially because we don't want to. It's that feeling of, I don't want to look at that right now, or I've always done it that way. Or like you say, maybe in the past year, I've done it that way. But it is a great opportunity to assess and have a look. Is it actually working for me? Do I want to carry on like this? And then you say the truth out of the mouths of babes because they haven't learned what is appropriate in society. Exactly. And there we go. There's a saying, from the mouths of babes comes the truth. Because they haven't been programmed, they haven't yet been silenced. And so to try and tap into that again, to try and get into touch with your true essence, what are you really feeling? And then to connect that with your mindset, because is your mindset from current feelings and how you're really feeling about things now, or is it a feeling that was so old? Usually it's rooted in some kind of a fear or a pain point from long ago that will affect a mindset that brings results that we don't want. So it's so good to take this opportunity to spring clean on all these different levels within ourselves. So that's on spring cleaning the heart. I find that personally, because it's so interesting. I realized in the past, I would say, year, how resistant I was to my own vulnerability. And I always thought that I showed up and made myself vulnerable to people. However, certain life events happened, and I was at a point, that person that was very transparent, comfortable with my feelings, open. And then there were just certain life events in a span of a few years, that shifted that, and I didn't notice. I didn't do this check-in. I didn't assess. And I knew that some of the results that I was getting weren't what I wanted, but I didn't want to look at it. Also, I took for granted that I was still that person. I was still transparent. I was still sharing myself and allowing myself to feel my feelings. And then it hit me. I haven't been feeling my feelings, certain feelings. I've been parking them and putting them away and putting on a brave face and behaving. And I was actually shocked. I was shocked. This came out when I realized, in the situation with a friend of mine, a close friend, how almost petrified with fear I was at being vulnerable and sharing my vulnerability. And so that's when you may have heard me speak of Brene Brown's work, The Power of Vulnerability. I got into that. I started really tapping into that, listening to Gabrielle Bernstein and some of her stuff, tapping into the fact that I'd gone into a space of judgment with myself and that I'd shut down certain emotional centers, and I really started focusing on feeling again. Interesting story. In the space of this time, before I realized this, I was moving house at one point, and I was moving house, and it had something to do. I was storing stuff with my ex-husband, with Erin's dad, and there was a lot of stuff moving between households and up and down. And somehow, I got a fridge from Erin's dad. That's right. So I got a fridge from him, and he used to have those little fridge magnet words where they're just like a million words, and you can make sentences, and it's so much fun with fridge magnet words. And this fridge got delivered and moved all the way down to Cape Town with me, from Johannesburg in South Africa down to Cape Town. And I was unpacking my house and cleaning, and the fridge was standing in the middle of the kitchen, and I was cleaning the space on the floor where the fridge was going to stand, and I looked to my left, and there on the right at the bottom of the fridge was one word, magnet, and it said feel. And for some reason in that moment, that word hit me right between the eyes, and I was like, oh, wow. I felt like it was a message directly for me. And then as quickly as the feeling came, I put it away. But I kept that magnet, and I kept it on my fridge, ignored it quite well for a number of years. Now I actually have it on my fridge in England, in the middle of the fridge, on the door, and it's a reminder to me to feel, and that at some point I had stopped allowing myself to really feel the feelings that were there, because some of them felt difficult or challenging, or like they might undo me a bit, like I might not be so strong and manage everything. So check in with yourself. Are you really allowing yourself to feel, and are you giving space to your true emotion? So that's spring cleaning the heart, which is very close to my heart, as I've just shared with you. And then spring clean your spirit. So when I say spirit, or soul, or essence, I mean that part of us that is intangible, that we can't quite name or touch, but we know it's there. That part of us that lets us know that there's something more than just what you can see and feel. So I love calling that our true essence, the essence of who we are, or our spirit. And it's the part of us that's connected with creator energy, with universe, and with each other. It's that thread of something magical that connects all of us. And so when I say spring clean that, it's very much energy, on an energetic level. And so it's about looking at, are you giving that space in your life? Are you allowing that channel that is connected to all of life? Are you allowing that channel to flow? Are you allowing energies in and out that work for you? Are you aware of the energy that you are, the energy that you create, and the energy that you receive? So to me, that's where spirituality comes in. That's where belief comes in. That's where your religion comes in, if you follow a religion. And just checking in on all of that, not so much with your mind, but more with that part of you, that true essence, that spirit, that soul part of you. And so that, again, is connected with a form of feeling, and that's what I call intuition. And the more we can sit quietly and and not get run away with our thoughts, and not get run away with our feeling in that instance, and not get run away with our physical in that instance, really just connect with that other part of who we are, and listen, as I say, listen with our inner ear to what comes from us, to us from within and from above, and just connect with that. And spring clean, as in, does it get enough space in your life? Are you allowing it to flow into everything you do? Are you allowing your true essence of who you are to show up? And when I say that, in that context, your true essence is perfect. Your true essence is enough. Your true essence is whole and complete, and that's what should be driving you. That's where you know, that's where you hold the wisdom of the ages, is in that space. And yes, JJ, I think this is why meditation is so important. Absolutely, meditation. And there are so many ways to meditate. I've spoken of this before on this channel, is the meditation weekend that I did at a Buddhist retreat in South Africa years and years ago. That was kind of my first real, tangible experience with meditation. I'd dabbled with it before that, and then a friend of mine invited me, and I jumped at it. And it was absolutely incredible because we were taught so many different ways of meditating. There was the traditional way of a seated position, keeping the spine straight and going into quiet space, which they did teach us, and they taught us different ways to sit and breathe, which really helped that process. And yet that can be so difficult for one to quiet the mind. And so they also taught us a meditation of walking meditation, which is getting your stride and the swing of your arms into a perfect rhythm where you actually leave your thoughts behind, because you're just in that rhythm flow. And again, it's incredible what happens when you just go into that complete rhythm. I think many long distance runners would really relate to that. I used to do a bit of running. I never went very much further than 12 or 15 kilometers, so that's short distances, but I would get into this beautiful rhythm and go into a complete meditative space. So it wasn't sitting still for me. In those days, it was the running. Yoga can be a form of meditation. We were taught on that weekend, Tai Chi is a form of meditation. So if you know the moves and you can really, really just connect, your body and mind to do it from a place of knowing, then it allows you to go into that quiet space within. And then there was mindfulness meditation, such as in the temple we did a tea making meditation, and the whole lesson was that if you're mindful enough in any activity and you're completely engaged with that one thing that you're doing, that is a form of meditation. And I absolutely experienced it, and I've experienced it since then with many things. And I bring that into my work, where I try and do one specific thing only, and go into that space of creation and expression. And it is incredible to see what comes out. So yes, JJ, I agree. Meditation is so very important in connecting to that true essence part of who we are. And again, there's guided meditation as well, which is so super, super helpful. And there's so many here on YouTube. There are just like millions to choose from. Guided meditations, and I'll tell you, there is nothing better than getting into a nice hot salt bath and putting on a guided meditation. And because the body is comfortable and warm and sort of safely contained, and lying there and listening to a guided meditation can be so incredible, and it's a really wonderful chance to connect. So for me, that's what I mean with spring cleaning the soul. It's looking at body, it's looking at mind, it's looking at emotion, and it's looking at spirit, and just checking in. Is there decluttering that needs to happen? Do you need to get rid of anything? Do you need to bring in anything new? Do you need to like open the windows to your being? And so that's what I really, really encourage you to do. This weekend is a great time to do it with the spring equinox and the beginning of the new year by the old calendar and the astrology calendar. But any time is as good as now. So anytime you can make that space for yourself, and that is self-love, is just creating time and space to check in with yourself, to clean up a little bit, and allow for new growth. Allow yourself the space to develop, to grow, to heal, and to step up into your best self ever. And remember, I will always, every time I use that term best self, I will use my definition. That is the best for you, not a media image, not a family expectation, not expectation of your partners and kids. Being your best self and living your best life means living according to your best. And with that, I wish you all the best for this beautiful spring weekend. And even if it's not spring where you are, I wish you all the best and enjoy checking in with yourself. Enjoy making time for yourself and enjoy loving yourself better. I will see you next week. Thank you for being here. Ciao for now. Bye.